Good morning, friends. Samir Gupta, your host for the day. And today's topic is how much insurance can one buy and how many policies can one have. So this is something very interesting that haven't not wouldn't have seen anybody discussing this. But let's understand that till now we understood all about health insurance claims. We have understood how to what are the exclusions, what are waiting periods, and all that. But today we will discuss something that is very, very close to my heart, and that is uh, what is the insurable limit that we have in health insurance, and how many policies can one have as an individual how many health insurance policies can one have in India? So the one common thing that since I started my insurance career, the first one and only thing that has always been asked by my customers is, "Sir, I already have a policy. Can I take one more?" Sir, I have a 5 lakh policy. Now, should I take another policy or should I increase that same policy? Or in other terms, should I take another policy and keep both together? So, today's video, probably we will discuss and try to understand this concept in detail. Uh, how many insurance policies can one take? Well, uh, probably there's no limit to that. Uh, there are people who have different company policies. Maybe they have one from HDFC, one from ICICI, one from Star. People do that. Why? Because they feel that one company, if they deny the claim, then another company will give the claim. So they do it that way. The concern that I have is there's no limit. There is no absolute upper limit in terms of how many policies you should have or how much of sum insured you should have. But the fact that uh, companies are happy. Companies are very happy if you have multiple policies. That's one thing you have to be understood very clear. Company will be more than happy to take the policies and your premium paying capacity will decide how many policies you can take. But companies will never doubt it. They will ask you only how many policies do you have, and then accordingly they'll give you more policies. Now recently there's one company who's come out with a 2 crore policy, so you can have a 2 crore policy, you can have a 5 crore policy, you can have a 5 lakh policy, 25 policies, 10 policies, 25 policies, 50 policies. There's no limit for that. Remember this one thing that as long as you are ready to pay the premium, there is no upper limit. But uh, the whole idea of a health insurance, unlike life insurance, in a health insurance, if there is a claim and you have multiple policies and you have mentioned that in your policy that you have multiple policies, then the claim will be only once. You can claim only once whatever total amount that the claim amount has come. You can claim only one time to the extent of the admissible claim. And in fact, we will claim sometimes some companies don't pay for consumables, don't pay for certain conditions like we discussed the other day, waiting periods and sublimits. Some companies have sublimits, so they will not pay for that. So in that case, what happens is you can also share the claim, but the total amount of claim that you are admissible or you are eligible is the extent of the hospitalization bill. Maximum is that the expense that you have incurred, that is maximum that you can claim. You can't claim anything more than that. So all companies put together are one company, but the eligibility is only for the amount of expense that has happened in the hospitalization. So health insurance only indemnifies your losses. It is not a benefit policy. It is an indemnity policy. What does indemnity policy say? It says that it will indemnify the loss, the financial loss that you have incurred, and not beyond that. So that's one thing you have to understand. Now, second thing that you have to keep in mind is that if we have multiple policies from multiple companies and all are personal retail policies, then all the companies put together will divide the claim in a certain ratio and pay the claim. Now, one company may pay cashless, the other are reimbursement. Only one company is eligible to pay cashless. Any one company, but they'll pay the claim as per the ratio which is pre-decided by the number of policies you have, and accordingly you can they will do the cashless claim. So that is one part. Second thing is that uh, when we have multiple policies, one claim will be cashless. Balance amount that you have to claim will be reimbursement. Now for reimbursement, you'll have to run around all run around the companies, give them the details about the claim, the bills, the reports, everything, and then the cashless claim is being done by one company. That also you have to ensure that they give you a certificate saying that they have paid for so and so reason, and the amount that they have paid, and all that on paper. So in a life insurance policy, you have multiple policies, you will get all the claims. You're eligible for all the claims in life insurance because that's a benefit policy. In that policy, what happens is the sum insured, once it is given to you, it is you are eligible for the sum insured. Whether it is death claim or maturity claim, you are eligible for sum insured. But in health insurance, it is not. So just to keep this, keeping this in mind, we generally say if you have one policy and you don't want to change that policy, you want to increase the sum insured, take a top up policy which will ride on the base policy. Take a top up policy which will ride on the base policy, or you have that same health insurance increased sum insured whenever, as and when you want it. So, supposing you had taken a policy at 25 when you were single, then you got married and it was 5 lakh policy, you got married, make it a 10 lakh policy, add your wife into it. After 10 years, you feel like no, the 10 lakh is not enough, you want to increase it, you can increase it. You can increase it to 25 lakhs, then you can increase it to 50 lakhs. Keep on doing it as and when you grow in your life, in your career, in your financial situation changes, keep increasing your sum insured. But the uh, the challenge that we have faced, that reality that we face in the market is, once you have insured and you've taken a claim, once a claim is honored in your policy, then the claim will decide whether the increase will happen or not in the same policy. Many a times what we have seen is, if the claim is of severity, then you are stuck with that sum insured that you have, and you cannot increase the sum insured beyond that. Supposing you have a 10 lakh policy and you have made a claim for a stroke or a heart attack, then for lifetime you are not insurable, and that 10 lakh is what you can maximum enjoy the benefits, other not beyond that. So I think that is one part that I always say, take higher policy. And second thing is, if you take a policy with higher sum insured, it will not only save you money, but time and stress too. So just imagine you have two or three different policies, and these three policies will pay you 1 lakh rupees claim that is incurred now in the ratio of 20, 30, and 50. Supposing the 50% claim is cashless and the 20 and 30 is reimbursement, you have to coordinate within the hospital, the TPAs, and the company all put together, and uh, collect all the documents from the company just paid cashless, everything, and then go ahead and then give it to them for reimbursement. You imagine the kind of running around and stress that is there in this all these things. So to avoid that, I think taking one single policy with higher sum insured is what makes sense. So that is one reason we always say that when you are young, supposing if you are, now in my case, I bought a policy when I was 30. Today I'm 50, and still I continue the same policy. Only thing is, from 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs to 15 lakhs is what we have increased. And touchwood, I haven't had made a single claim till now. So it's still going on strong. And I know for sure that in my case, like in my situation where I already have insurances from different companies, I still have my personal insurance for simple reason that I know it will be required some point of time, and I will not be working for life. One is that. Second is, I had initially taken the policy with my children in the same policy, and now my children have grown up and they are on their own. So I've separated them and given them a separate policy, and now I'm continuing with my policy. I may not need the insurance today at 50. I may need it at 65. If I see 65 and if I'm there, and maybe one claim, I may need a higher policy at 65. So what I'll do is, supposing at this stage, I'll go with a higher policy which I've not made any claim. I'll make a 25 lakh policy. That 15 lakh what is I already have, I'll make a 20 lakh, 25 lakh policy. And 25 lakh policy with 25 lakh of bonus is 50 lakh rupees. And for me, maybe next 20 years, that's more than enough that will take care of my inflation and all other things. So higher sum insured, higher insurance, always cost less. The more the insurance, supposing you are taking a 10 lakh policy, it may cost you 15,000 rupees. When you take a 1 crore policy, it may cost you 25,000 rupees. Or maybe in recent time that we have seen, this 21,000 rupees. For a 20-year-old boy, 10 lakh policy is what? 9,000, and 1 crore policy is 15,000. So it makes sense to go with higher sum insured when you are young, and keep on decreasing it later on when as and when you grow, and as and when your family grows. So that is another way of looking at it. So maybe that helps in today's times, in today's condition, it helps that way. So you should look at it from that perspective and take it forward. Uh, One thing that you would understand is probably for a person who's 20-year-old may not use the insurance for next 50 years until 70, may not use. But in 50 years, look at the inflation, the kind of inflation that you will see. Today, in current situation, I think recently, yesterday, we paid a claim for heart, what do you say, angioplasty. Two stent put, and for 1 day hospitalization, the bill was 5.4 lakhs in Apollo Hospital. So with that situation, if I look at 50 years from now, this 5 lakh may become 25 lakhs or 30 lakhs. The same two stents may cost 30 lakh rupees. It is one of the reason is that because of inflation, and second thing is the rising cost. So that's the second, lifestyle is changing. So technology is changing. The way robotic surgeries are being happening now, they are a little costly, but then they do a precise job. So it is good for you. So my friends, remember this one thing. Uh, Today's discussion that we have had in terms of number of policies and in terms of this sum insured limit, please make sure, please remember in your lifetime that you should have one single policy with a higher sum insured, not probably adequate to today's requirement, but 10 years or 15 years from now, what could be the inflation and the expenses that is to be incurred. Looking from that perspective, you should take insurance today. You are insurable today. You are not unhealthy. You are very healthy today. So in this situation, you should always take a higher sum insurance when available, and not go for it when required. So when you require it, you will not get it also. So this is one thing that I always tell people: have one single policy of a higher sum insurance with kind of lower premiums, whichever higher wider coverage and all that, wherever it's possible. Uh, for a detailed discussion, please call me on my number 9861 00026. This video that we are doing today, we've been doing a period of time in series, is to make you understand, or let us all understand together that when we read out literature, when we read a brochure, we don't understand the language because it's a legal language, and we don't understand the nitty-gritties in between the lines. Whatever is written there, what is to be understood in between the lines is what we are trying to make good here, and giving you a very detailed discussion in terms of the minor points that are very important to be understood, and that is how we are creating these videos. If you like this, please, if you really like this content today, please like this video, share and subscribe to the channel. Encourage us, and let's all grow together. Let's understand more and more in things in detail, and take it forward. Have a great day. Shabba khair. Good night. See you.